Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ?
We got a pretty interesting matchup for you today. LSU versus Florida. LSU opens up as a 5.5 point favorite at Death Valley. RJ, what are you thinking about this game? What do you think is going to be the deciding factor for it? And how do you feel about Florida going into this game after a loss?
I'm gonna start by saying this: Florida is bipolar. I'm
Mm.
talking about they can beat the best team in the league, then go onto the next game and lose against a sorry ass team. So, but South Florida, I'm not gonna call them sorry. South Florida to me is really good, but Florida still should have won the game, at least by
From a
two
talent
pos-
standpoint,
at
for
least by
sure.
two possessions. Yes, because Bama struggled against them for the past 2 years.
Hmm.
But Bama still got the dub, and Florida just couldn't get the dub for some reason.
It's one of those games you know that team's good enough to play with you and make it scary, but at the end of the day, your depth chart and the amount of depth that you have and players that can come off the bench and be just as equally good as the starters for the other team show up later in the game. You know what I'm saying? But Florida never pulled that away, and Florida almost beat themselves. 11 penalties, isn't that right?
11,
I
11
mean,
penalties for 103 yards.
and I don't even think USF played their best game either.
No,
I think overall it was a sloppy game, and USF still found a way to win. I don't think USF went home and was happy about the way they performed. I think that what is it, Gold would probably say in the locker room like, "Great win, but we could have done better." You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because USF has a good team put together. Byron Brown's a great quarterback, but talking about this week's matchup for Florida, after losing a game like that, how do you bounce back and you go to Death Valley? How do you even get this win? What do you do? What do you do?
A lot of things better go wrong, but no, Florida has a good back. I feel like DJ Lagway needs to use his legs more because
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to beat teams in the pocket, but DJ Lagway needs to run.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's capable of doing. So I feel like Billy Napier needs to use Lagway's legs more, and they'll probably win a lot more games. Or Lagway needs to use his legs more and stop trying to beat teams in the pocket. And they could come out with a win against LSU because both defenses are pretty stout by far throughout the past two games for both teams. But offensive wise, LSU is a better offense. But Florida, like I said, Florida's bipolar, so they can come out and dominate the LSU, but still blow a game after this. So
That's the thing. You don't really know what you're getting with Florida. DJ Lagway is a great quarterback. He's going to be good. He's a young guy. Yeah, he got a little bit of experience towards the end of last year, and he's expected to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year. Florida's expected to be one of the better teams, but you didn't expect that loss to South Florida to be there. So now you go to Death Valley after you just got put into a hell game with South Florida. Um, how do you like thinking about it from an outside standpoint? How do you even win this game, right? Well, you win it in the trenches. I mean, not FSU. LSU has been, notoriously iffy on the offensive line for the past 2 years. So you gotta win up front if you're on defense. You gotta make Nussmeier force the ball. You gotta create turnovers, and you can't let them establish the run because LSU has struggled to be able to run the ball, and you can't let them start this game.
yeah,
DJ Lagway's got to be more consistent throwing the ball, and he's got to make better plays if it's improvised and if it's using his legs, like you were saying, or if it's just being on time, being on target. Because there's a lot of throws in the South Florida game that he missed due to not being on time.
I'm also say this about Florida's defense. South Florida beat Florida in the air also,
Mm-hmm.
and if South Florida beat you in the air, you're not ready for Garrett Nussmeier to beat you in the air also.
Mm-mm. Because
Because
Byron
Garrett,
Brown's great with his legs, but he's not known to be an amazing thrower. But Nuss,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, he's gonna throw that ball. So
no, that's looking over at LSU, you've reloaded on defense. You got Blake Brown as your coordinator. He's doing great. Nussmeyer as your quarterback. You're still doing Barry and Brown looks great. What's his name? Aaron Anderson looks amazing. You have two studs at receiver. I think Trey'Dez Green actually got hurt in this past game. I don't know how serious it is, but you still have a great tight end beside him if he isn't healthy and ready to go. You got to get the run game established at some point, though. Your offensive line has got to hold up to make it where you can run the ball. If not, you're going to struggle with teams that you should beat by 2 or 3 scores, you're only going to beat them by 1 score because you can't establish a run. You can't expect Nussmeier to be perfect every game, even though he's an amazing quarterback.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Dalton. I feel like both teams will establish the run game, and it's gonna come down to the air game at the end there, because Florida's running back and then Caden Durham, LSU's running back. They've been doing pretty good through the season. So I believe it's gonna be a whoever could win the air game in this game, and
Mhm.
then penalties, whoever. Because Florida with 11 penalties, if they do that against LSU, they're gonna
They'll
get
get
blown
blown out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. LSU overall, looking at it from a roster standpoint, I mean, they look great. They're the number 3 team in the country for a reason. They're scary. They went to Clemson, beat Clemson. I mean, you can't really. They had kind of a rough week last week against LA Tech, but Georgia had a rough week last week. We'll see how they do this week. I mean, that's one of those things that kind of happen. You kind of overlook an opponent, but I think the key to the game for LSU is to be able to give one for the offensive line to win. Like
Yeah.
for them to control the line of scrimmage and be able to do what they want to do on offense because I don't think Florida State can score with LSU.
Florida State.
Um, I mean, yeah, Florida. I keep saying Florida State. They're all
It's
in my
crazy.
head. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
they're everywhere in my head. It's crazy, dude. Um, but I don't think Florida can score with LSU by any means, and I think LSU can get necessary stops throughout the game to be able to win this game, and that's why I have LSU taking this game 27-17.
um, I'm gonna agree with you, but uh, I still won't sleep on Florida because they're just bipolar. You don't know what they're gonna come out and do. So
Mm-hmm.
I still won't sleep on Florida because they're still a good
Oh,
team.
they're a great team. Yeah.
And South Florida is a good team too. That's why they're ranked now. They beat number 25 Boise State, and then they just beat ranked. What was Florida's rank? You
I can't. I don't remember the rank at the time of the game. It was
yeah
mid-teens, though.
yeah they were ranked also, and South Florida beat them. That's why South Florida is ranked now. But I'm gonna go with LSU in this game. 35-24 LSU in Death Valley.
35-24.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the thing that kind of threw me for a loop is it's Death Valley at night. You know the atmosphere is going to be crazy. Florida's coming in. Um, and Lagway, I think while he's a great quarterback, this is going to be the hardest environment he's probably had to play in.
Yeah.
And I think,
Crazy fans.
oh, yeah. And I mean, what did Nick Saban say? You could smell the bourbon at the 50-yard line. Like, I mean, it's just going to be a showdown. And I think LSU has the most experience and they have the most put together roster and they have home field advantage. So a lot of things go in their favor. And I think, like I said, 27-20, not a bad score for Florida. They're still within striking distance. Um, but I think slow start for Florida gets them behind. LSU runs the score up. Florida makes a late push, but just doesn't have enough firepower to win the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there anything else you want to add on?
No, Florida can win this game, but do I think so? No, I don't think so. So
Yeah, I have to agree with you. But, well, in that case, this has been the RD podcast. My name's Dalton, and
RJ,
we'll catch you next time.
follow, like, and share.